Shalom, Kal Halayim La, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach HaKodash. Double honors to my apostles, a great millstone who taught me this truth. And Shalom to the 144,000 and the elect. I'm Zayn, and this is another video entitled, The World is Running Out of Time. I'm going to read this article, bring out some precepts, and that'll be the end of the video. And Lord will, you'll edify. The title reads, Is the world running out of time? The doomsday clock is too low. And yes, the world is running out of time. Let's get that. Matthew 24 and 42. It says, Be ready, for Yahushua is coming. Watch, therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord Yahushua doth come, when Yahweh sends Yahushua back to claim the kingdom, take the kingdom with the elect, 144,000, and to gather the elect and burn the wicked. Verse 43. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, the elect, whom his Lord have made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Another precept, Matthew 25. And let's start at 1. The parable of the 10 virgins. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. These virgins are the elect, and 5 of them were wise. The wise are the elect, and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them, but the wise took oil. The oil is knowledge, the wisdom, and understanding. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, which is Yahushua, coming at midnight to gather the elect and to destroy the wicked. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you, but go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. They went into the chambers of the chariots, and the doors were shut. The elect, when Yahushua came with the chariots, the elect went in the chariots with the angels and Yahushua, and the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. Let's jump down to 31. the judgment. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, when he takes the kingdom with the holy angels. And before him shall be gathered all the nations, the Edomites, the Elamites, the 12 tribes of Israel, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. The sheep are the tribes of Israel, and the goats are the other nations. And he shall set the and he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered, and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger, and took thee in, or naked, and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison, and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, which are the fellow elect, ye have done it unto me. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, which is the ICBM nuclear missiles, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me not in. Naked, and ye clothed me not. Sick and in prison, and ye visited me not. Then shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee an hungered, or athirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Then shall he answer, saying them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye did not to one of these least of these, ye did it not to me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into eternal life. Back into the article. It reads, Is the world running out of time? Doomsday clock is too low. The doomsday clock was set to 89 seconds to midnight and ticks closer to midnight on January 27, 2026. On January 27th, the doomsday clock was at its closest point to midnight, 85 seconds to midnight. And midnight, as we read, is when Yahweh will send Yahweh Shai back to take the kingdom with his holy angels and to gather the sheep, which are the elect of the 12 tribes of Israel, and destroy the wicked, and also enslave the wicked to be the first fruits of the kingdom and to help build up the kingdom. The doomsday clock is a visual representation of how close humanity is to self-destruction from human-made threats like nuclear war, climate change, and disruptive technologies like artificial intelligence, with midnight symbolizing global catastrophe. And there are lots of threats in the world today, wars and rumors of wars. Let's get that. Matthew 24:6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And all these threats of nuclear war, there will be another nuclear war, and that will be the third woe, the Third World War. Revelation 11:14. The second war is past, which is the second war, World War II. And behold, the third woe, or third war, cometh quickly. And like I said, when the third World War comes, Yahweh will send Yahushai back to take up the wheat and burn the tares, which is to save the elect of Israel and burn those heathens and the wicked in ICBM nuclear fire. Matthew 13:30. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of the harvest I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. Matthew 13:37. The breakdown. He answered and said unto them, he that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man, which is Yahushua. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, the ICBM nuclear missiles, so shall it be in the end of this world, World War III, when Yahweh sends Yahushua back. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire, the nuclear fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father Yahweh. Who have ears to hear, let him hear. Back into the article. The doomsday clock is a visual representation of how close humanity is to self-destruction from human-made threats like nuclear war, climate change, and disruptive technologies like artificial intelligence, with midnight symbolizing global catastrophe, which is when Yahushua comes back, when Yahweh sends Yahushua back to take the kingdom with the elect and to destroy the wicked and to save the righteous and the elect. It serves the public as a warning to acknowledge the things that are happening and a call to action, urging leaders and us to take action and move the clock further from midnight. It ain't no matter what you do. This is gonna take place because it's prophecy. Some of the main reasons the clock was at its closest point ever to midnight on January 27th were nuclear war threats, wars and rumors of wars, disruptive technologies, and climate change. According to the clock, our earth is close to destruction because of all of this. The doomsday clock's decision body is made by the Science and Security Board. Let's get that. The Science and Security Board, SASB, is a select group of globally recognized experts who manage the doomsday clock for the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. The board evaluates existential threats to humanity, specifically focusing on nuclear risk, climate change, and disruptive technologies such as AI and biotechnology. Key responsibilities: setting the doomsday clock. The board meets annually to determine how many seconds to midnight the world is from a global catastrophe. Advisory role. Members serve as editorial and program advisors to the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, providing expert perspectives on global security trends. Public representation. Board members represent the organization in media and at public events to communicate risks and advocate for policy changes. Current standing of 2026. As of early 2026, the board has set the doomsday clock at 85 seconds to midnight, the closest it has ever been to midnight in history, because we're closer to the coming of Yahweh Shai in the history in World War III. The board cited the erosion of international norms, nuclear escalation, and the potential misuse of AI and biological sciences as primary reasons for this setting. Notable leadership and members. Chair Daniel Holz, a professor at the University of Chicago, specializing in physics and astrophysics. Board members. The board includes leaders from diverse fields such as David Relman, expert in microbiology and immunology; Inez Fung, atmospheric scientist specializing in climate change; Melanie Mitchell, expert in artificial intelligence; Jill Ruby, former administrator of the National Nuclear Security Administration. The board grew out of the original board of directors established in 1945 by Manhattan Project scientists. It was formally restructured into the Science and Security Board and separate governing board in 2008. The Doomsday Clock's decision board is the Science and Security Board. They meet twice a year to review the global events and decide if the hands should move. They consult with the board of sponsors, established in 1948 by Albert Einstein and J. Robert Oppenheimer. The board evaluates global news like nuclear weapon threats, climate change, and emerging disruptive technologies. The final output is announced annually in January to indicate how close humanity is to a man-made apocalypse. As of January 27, 2026, the clock is set at 85 seconds to midnight. The doomsday clock was originally set by Eugene Rabinowitz from 1947 until 1973, and the responsibility was then moved to the board. The clock is not a warning of immediate hourly disaster, but a symbolic, annually reviewed indicator of global stability. It is set by the BAS Science and Security Board, which includes Nobel laureates, to warn the public and leaders about risk of nuclear threats, climate change, and disruptive technologies. that climate change and nuclear threats. Let me get something. Let me get something real quick. Yeah, see that HAARP is manipulates the weather as well. Let's read and see what AI has to say about HAARP weather manipulation. The High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, HAARP, cannot manipulate the weather, which is a damn lie. It is a scientific research facility located in Gakona, Alaska, designed to study the ionosphere, which is part of the Earth's atmosphere beginning at 60 miles above the surface. Let's see, power levels, primary purpose. Common conspiracy theories. Despite scientific evidence, HAARP is frequently the subject of misinformation. Weather control. Claims that HAARP creates floods, droughts, or steals hurricanes, such as Hurricanes Helene or Milton, have been reportedly debunked by NOAA and other agencies. Natural disasters. Theories linking HAARP to earthquakes like the 2010 Haiti earthquake or tsunamis are scientifically impossible, as radio waves cannot trigger seismic activity. Mind control. Rumors that the facility uses electromagnetic waves to influence human behavior are classified as nonsense by atmospheric experts, which I don't believe that. I believe they're doing all this stuff they're saying that they're not doing. While historical projects like Operation Popeye involved localized weather modification, cloud seeding, HAARP's technology is unrelated to these methods. I don't believe that. But do your own research. Back to the article. The main factors affecting the clock's time of nuclear weapons war and threats, the increased risk of nuclear war, which is driven by the ongoing war in Ukraine and increased aggressive threats from major nuclear armed powers like Russia, China, and the U.S., the breakdown of international arms control treaties, along with fears of nuclear escalation or brinkmanship, has made the threat of accidental or intentional nuclear use more severe than at other points in history. Another main reason the clock's time being affected is climate change. It has rapidly increased since 1975, and the Earth has warmed at over 3 times the rate since 1850. Sea levels are rising at a fast rate, while glaciers and Arctic ice are shrinking continuously. Weather manipulation. But don't believe me. Do your research. Research all these things that we give y'all to make sure that you have the truth and that we're speaking the truth. Extreme weather event, well, at least what I'm saying, do your research and get the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding for yourself. Extreme weather events like heat waves, wildfires, and floods are becoming more frequent, intense, and lasting longer. The board of sponsors who control the clock has noted insufficient action on climate change is a primary driver for the clock's position. Despite international agreements, global carbon dioxide emissions have continued to rise, and record-breaking temperatures in 2024 and 2025 have intensified disasters like floods, droughts, and food insecurity, confirming that the world is moving too slowly to reduce fossil fuel dependence to Salakia to reduce the world is moving too slowly to reduce fossil fuel dependence. This has affected the world and the clock a lot. The last main reason that affects the clock's time is the disruptive technologies. Recently, the uncontrollable use of artificial intelligence, AI, has become a big problem with people relying on AI for everything. And the way AI is produced is not good for our earth. See, nothing Esau creates is good. The machines used to produce AI need tons and tons of clean, flowing water to cool down. Once the water runs through the machines, it becomes toxic, contaminated with chemicals, unusable for anything else. This leads to massive amounts of wasted water. Damn. With all this information, we have learned how and why our world is becoming close to destruction. We need to be better and do our part to fix all of this. That's Esau fucking up the earth, and then try to blame it on everybody. Nah, y'all doing that. The Israelites ain't doing that. This requires urgent global action to reduce the risk from nuclear weapons, climate change, and artificial intelligence. Key strategies include reviving nuclear arms control negotiations, accelerating the transition to renewable energy, strengthening pandemic preparedness, and reducing and regulating AI with a particular need for cooperation among U.S., Russia, and China. Shalom.